It's midnight. I'm in the bathroom because I don't want my baby to hear me cry. And she's sleeping. So I'm going to give a rundown on what happened. My baby had been dealing with an ear infection, a very nasty ear infection. I took her to the hospital, and the doctor, she just checked her ear. That was it. Even though I told her that her head been hurting, she's been acting disoriented, just not herself. They just checked her ear, gave us some antibiotics, and sent us home. Well, the next morning, my baby, she was throwing up, still complaining of these headaches. So I emailed the nurse and I told her, I'm worried that something is wrong with my baby. She told me, oh, okay. She called me, we talked. She said, I think it's best you take her back to the emergency room. I took her back to the emergency room. Um, the the doctor, they did a CT scan and she was like, oh, okay, we don't see anything. We just see the ear infection. We're gonna switch your antibiotics. Sent us home. Tuesday, everything was okay. Wednesday, we got up. I gave my baby her medicine. She's still complaining of these headaches. That was my main, these headaches. It was to the point where she was waking up crying because she kept having these headaches. Wednesday came, got up, gave her medicine. She was tired. I feel because she don't feel good. She's in my bed. I went and fed her lunch, checked on her. She didn't eat her lunch. She didn't drink anything. I'm still thinking it's because of her ear infection. My kids do half days on Wednesday, so my kids got home with maybe like an hour past. I hear her call my name. She go, mommy, mommy. So I go in my room. She's sitting up. I'm thinking it's because her brother's in there. She don't want her brother in there. But upon her calling my name, she was looking spaced out. Like she was calling my name. She was looking everywhere but me. Even when I was directly in her face, she still was not, you know, looking at me. I'm like, okay. I started to cry. Something is wrong. I get her up to put her pants and stuff on. She walks right into the wall. I'm like, there's something definitely wrong with my child. I called 911. I'm telling the man something is wrong with my baby. She's acting disoriented. She's acting confused. I kid you fucking not. I was on the fucking phone with the 911 man for 10 minutes. He's telling me the ambulance is coming. I'm like, where the fuck is the fucking ambulance? Something is happening with my child. Where the fuck the ambulance at? The paramedics finally fucking come. There's no siren, no nothing. They finally fucking come. And they walk into my house. They're acting like my baby is daydreaming or something. I'm crying. I'm like, something is wrong with my baby. This is my child. I know my fucking child. Something is wrong with my baby. You know, they put me in. They was like, oh, I think she might have a seizure because, you have a fever, blah, blah, blah. I know they're not going to be as dramatic as me because they're paramedics. This is their job. But I'm like, to me, they act like it was no big deal. We get to the hospital, they wheel us in, he does tell the nurse that Raquel was having a little seizure. They was like, okay, well, just go stand against this wall till we get a discharge room. I'm still crying. My baby, she's still acting confused and shit. And she started to seize. And a doctor walked by and she was like, is she having a seizure? And the paramedic was like, yeah. And she looked at me, she was like, she always have a seizure? And I'm like, no. And she says, get her to the back. Like, take her to trauma. They go in there, they do all, what they need to do. I'm crying because when the doctors say take her to the trauma, the doctor and about 10 more other people run with her to take my baby back there. I'm crying and stuff. And, they call my sister. My sister get there and they tell me that they have to do tests. They have to do a spinal tap to test. And they do a spinal tap. And comes back that my baby has meningitis on top of COVID. Okay, I'm just crying, you know what I'm saying? And Thursday come, they take my baby to go get an MRI and a pick, which is IV to stay longer in her arm because she's gonna have to take antibiotics. And that's when they see the fluid infection, you know, on her brain. It's small. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh God, it's huge. It was, you know, small. And so that's where we been here, you know, give my baby antibiotics. She's taking her seizure medication, you know. They redid MRI today, you know, and they tell me that it got a little bigger. And on top of that, she got swelling on the brain now. I don't know what I was hoping for. I was hoping for them to tell me that the antibiotics was working or it got down a little bit, you know. But my baby, she's up, she's talking, she's moving around, she's looking like herself. And I should be blessed about that. I really should be blessed because it's parents here who kids, they don't have no more chances, you know. They don't have no more chances. This is what's their last hope. And I should be grateful. But this is my baby. This is my child. Hi. And I'm just hoping for good news. You know, them to say it went down a little bit. Even if they say it went down a little bit, not come back to me. And it got a little bigger. So now we have to do another MRI next week again to see if they have to go do surgery in her brain to drain the fluid. I'm just so tired of my baby going through stuff. She's only 4. She didn't have open heart surgery. She has been basically in a coma before. And now this, like, the devil really is trying to take her out. My baby told me out of her own mouth and that she saw a skeleton man with sunken eyes in my room. And I'm like, was that the Grim Reaper? I know that folks was, but like, she's been through a lot. And I don't know. I'm so tired. I got other kids. I miss my kids. You know, I'm just overwhelmed with this because the bacterial meningitis is a very deadly disease. My baby could potentially lose her hearing, her sight. It's not nothing to play with. It can kill her. And you know, I just prayed. I thank everyone for supporting my baby through this. You guys inbox me with prayers. You guys send me encouraging words. Just thank every single one of y'all. You know, my baby still got a long way to go. We potentially can go home. That's the good news. And I'll take care of her. I will give her her antibiotics. So it's just a lot, a lot. And I just thank God for my mama and my sister. I thank God for my family. continue to pray for my baby. Continue to pray for us because she got a purpose on here. I believe that my baby has a purpose here on this earth, and she's going to fulfill it. I know she's going to outlive me. I know he won't do that to me again. I know he won't do that to me again. My baby is a fighter. Do y'all hear me? A fighter.